Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask. It is Thursday. It is the 24th day of February. Today, holy cow, it's National Tortilla Chip Day.
Ah.
That should probably be like Super Bowl Sunday, shouldn't it? Isn't that like
You
the
would
biggest
think it
tortilla?
would be closer. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
would think
National
so.
Chili Day today as well, which should
Yum.
also be a good time to have that. And then National Toast Day. So I didn't know there was a toast day. So I wonder...
I do like toast.
Toast is good.
Yeah,
it's
good.
It sounds very good. It's also a Thursday, and I've got a Dear John letter here. The last couple were lovey-dovey letters, according to this writer. They said you've had too many lovey-dovey letters, so they got a new letter for us. It's from Should I Stay or Should I Go? From a man who's being surrounded by a bunch of noisy people. So I'm excited to see what Heidi says about this. We'll get to that. You can chime in, by the way, with your advice anytime if you'd like at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A report claims that weight gain among freshman college students may be the result of their wildly fluctuating sleep patterns. Yeah.
That and the fact that they're just eating whatever they can get there. And there's alcohol
We're going to
involved.
go with the sleep patterns, though. That's my problem, too.
Yeah.
All right. A tongue twister is a phrase which is difficult to say, especially when repeated multiple times in rapid succession. In 2013, a team of MIT researchers decided to find out what is the hardest tongue twister. What do you think it is, Heidi?
I have no idea. What is it?
They succeeded. What did they come with? Pad, kid, poured, curd, pulled, cod.
What?
I don't. Well, that phrase is meaningless. The study had more serious mission. The lead researcher was a psychologist from MIT who studied how your brain glitch manifests in our speech.
Okay.
So like when we're saying that. So again, if you want to know the toughest one, it is pad, kid, poured, curd, pulled, cod. Again, it doesn't really mean anything, so I think they could have come up with anything. That's so weird. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know the Tonga volcano that erupted recently had a force of more than 500 times that of the Hiroshima atomic bomb? According to estimates provided by NASA, Goddard Space Flight Center, and the Tonga eruption. What is that? Oh, that's the name of the thing. Okay. That released the equivalent of 10 megatons of TNT.
Holy cow.
Making it one of the most powerful eruptions in 30 years. According to local officials, the eruption had a radius of 260 kilometers. That's like 161.5 miles.
Whoa.
And it threw ash 20 kilometers or 12 miles into the atmosphere. The situation in Tonga in terms of death and devastation remains uncertain, though there are some confirmed deaths and some people that were missing at the time of the story being written. So wowzers, that is crazy. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. This is a story that as soon as I read it, Heidi's going to disagree with me and talk about her favorite Batman, but we're gonna dive right in here. Robert Pattinson says that his Batman will enjoy venting rage towards criminals. He plays the Caped Crusader in Matthew Reeves' upcoming movie, The Batman, and told an interviewer that viewers will see the superhero's darker side. Although The Dark Knight will stick to his no-kill code, Pattinson explained that his take on Bruce Wayne practically lives in the gutter and is exploring the character's grittier side. It was a key reason that he signed up for the part. The Batman is set for release March 4th. And Heidi can now say,
Michael Keaton was the best Batman.
She was on standby waiting to say that. As soon as I mentioned Batman. Now, there are people who disagree with Heidi, but she doesn't care.
Not many.
So she don't care. Just letting you know. You can disagree. Big Screen, Little Screen brought to you by channelsurfertv.com.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. If you walk up to somebody on the street and ask them what's their favorite number, a whole bunch of different numbers could come your way, but there's a 10% chance they're going to say 7. This is according to mathematician Alex Bellows, who asked respondents to identify their favorite number. They found number 7 is the most popular choice 9.7% of the time. The most popular...
Because they say 7 is a lucky number.
Yeah. The most popular 2-digit number is...
13.
Yeah. You'd think it's unlucky, but that is one that people you'd think would want to stay away
It's
from.
my favorite number.
No. 5% of respondents, when they say pick a number between 1 and 100. So the number 1 answer is 7. The number 2 answer, by the way, is 13. Followed by, go 7, and then 3, then 8, then 4, then 5. Those are the top 5. The number 1 2-digit number, though, is 13.
There you go.
All right. McDonald's is taking a page out of the fans' playbook, adding 4 hacked menu items. We've looked at this. We didn't have the guts to try it, though. They just started recently.
Yeah. This is interesting.
They have some weird things. These things are created by, I think it was like online people, influencers that said, you know what you should do. So they have different things. I'm going to read this, the different creations. The hash brown McMuffin, a sausage egg McMuffin with eggs and cheese and a hash brown stuffed in there. That doesn't sound bad. A crunch double is a 6-piece McNugget jammed in with some barbecue sauce on a double cheeseburger. I saw that one. That looked kind of weird. The surf and turf is a Filet-O-Fish and a double cheeseburger, or you can really live uptown. Land, Air, and Sea is a Big Mac with a McChicken and a Filet-O-Fish on it as well. Okay. That just recently came out, and apparently there are people who like them because there are people online going, "Oh, they better keep this one." So I don't know. We looked at it the other day. We were like, "Yeah, you know what?
Maybe not today.
Let's just order normal people food for now. I don't think I'm going to try something new today." But if you're into that kind of thing, there you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
It's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John, dear John.
All right, I'm excited for this Dear John letter, and there's some good advice already, and I'll tell you at the end how you can chime in with any advice you'd like to give as well. But here we go. Dear John, you've had several lovey-dovey letters lately, so I'm going to go a whole different direction. I think it's time for me to move. My apartment has been a quiet little haven for me for about a decade. I love the apartment and used to love my neighbors, but over the last few years, that has changed. I had a super sweet gentleman across the hall who passed away last year.
Aww.
The noisy couple who replaced him have been driving me crazy since day one. The person who lived above me moved shortly after the noisy people moved in. I'll bet there's probably a link there, by the way. Now, there's another noisy person above me. My neighbor next door to me moved a month ago, and I'll bet you already guessed it. Yep, he was replaced by a noisy one as well. That one is the best noisy neighbor. He's an older gentleman who can't hear well, so he cranks his TV up pretty loud.
Oh, yeah.
I actually appreciate that over the fighting across the hall and the
Yikes.
racquetball or whatever they're doing upstairs. I'm trying to decide what to do. I have a lease that I can leave at any time. I've been here forever, and my rent is low because they've been great to work with. A coworker said they probably moved all the noisy people in to run me off, but I'm pretty sure they didn't plan for that. I mean, how would you know somebody is noisy? So my question is, do I just buy earplugs and stick it out? It's a safe area. Now it's super loud. My concern is I'll find a more expensive place that's not as safe and still end up with all the noise too. What should I do? Signed, should I stay or should I go? What do you think, Heidi?
I would go.
Really?
I would.
I was thinking you had a whole different plan for this.
Nope, I would go. If it's bothering him, I don't tend to get too worked up about, I don't know.
Here's the thing that I thought Heidi was going to say. I thought you were going to say fight fire with fire. Be noisier than all of them.
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought for sure I cannot believe that's not your advice.
Because they're not going to quit being noisy because you're noisy. Clearly, noise doesn't bother them. So if you're noisy, they don't care.
Well, and the thing is, it would bother all the neighbors except for the one that they like because they like the guy that's noisy because he can't hear, so he wouldn't even hear him. So I'm baffled that was not Heidi's advice.
Well, because it wouldn't help.
Okay, well.
If I thought it would help, that would have been my advice, but it's not going to do anything.
I'll give you my advice. My advice would be this. First thing I would do, and it doesn't say if you've tried this, because if you've tried this, then maybe it's time to move. But first thing I would do is I would go next door to the neighbors across the hall, and I would just say, hey, guys, I could hear you across the hall, and it's really, I don't know if you realize that, but it's pretty bad, and
right.
You know, have a conversation with them, because they might not even realize that their little lover spat is being echoed up and down the hall all over the place. And the person that's up above you, I would maybe go up there and just say, hey, I don't know what all the noise is, but I live right below you, and I'm not trying to be a bad neighbor. I want to be a good neighbor, but I don't know if you realize whatever that is that's going on up here makes a lot of noise down there. So maybe start there. That's what I would do. If you like your house, your apartment, you don't want to move,
right?
See if there's a way that you can stay. And the question they said is, do I just get some earplugs and stay? And maybe you start looking to see what else is out there, you know, and
you may find your dream home that's out there waiting for you. You may find a nice home to rent instead of renting an apartment where you don't have quite so much to worry about.
And it doesn't cost you anything to look. So if you go, you know what, I'm going to look and see what's out there. But then I don't know how you could go find a different place. So maybe you find a different place, but there's no way for you to know unless you say, hey, can I camp out here for the night? I just want to see how noisy the neighbors
really.
are. I mean, and that's not really something you can ask.
But you can certainly ask some of the neighbors, how is the noise level here?
They're the noisy ones, though.
But ask several neighbors. How is the noise level? Would this be a nice, quiet place to live?
A guy over there, he's a problem. Meanwhile, they're saying...
Anytime you're living in an apartment community, you're going to have to worry about people coming and going.
Yeah.
So even if when you move in, all of the neighbors are great, there's going to be people coming in
again.
at a later time that might not be as easy to get along with. So if you want to avoid that, I would look at renting a house.
All right. Well, I am baffled that Heidi's advice was not. It was not.
Well, I was an apartment manager, so it's probably a little harder for me to say because as the manager is going to have to deal with this nonsense.
She did that for a while. All right. If you'd like to chime in with your advice, you can do that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A white flag is not actually a sign of surrender for boats at sea. It's just a request to communicate. So if you see a white flag on a boat at sea, that doesn't mean they're giving up. It's just saying, hey, reach out to me. I want to talk to you. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Frogs cannot swallow without blinking. Good to know.
Really?
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Before the 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics, Usain Bolt ate 100 chicken McNuggets in a day for 10 straight days and set 3 world records that week. So my diet doesn't sound so bad after all. I have not eaten 100 chicken nuggets lately. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A lot of the weird, creepy music in horror movies is performed on one unique instrument. It's called a waterphone.
I've
Yeah,
never heard of a water phone.
You've heard it, though. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Mexico's full name is what? The United States of Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Now you have. That is today's fun fact. Several of them. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline England. The staff of Travelodge in Cambridge, England, were too busy to take notice when a small pet triggered the hotel's automatic front door and escaped into the wild. Not exactly a pet. It was the vacuum that belonged to the hotel. The Roomba. The Roomba got out. It got wild. Social media posts asked the public to keep an eye out for it. They expressed fear for its safety. Nature is not nice to vacuums.
For its safety.
They found it stuck in a hedge the next day, and it was returned to its natural habitat inside.
My.
I didn't even realize they would do that, but I suppose if it bumps up against a wall, it turns around. But if it bumps up next to a door that's open, it doesn't bump. It just keeps rolling.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah, we don't have one of those. Our friends that we were staying with, some friends, they had one. And it was going all the time.
All the time.
It was kind of driving me crazy. I was like, I don't think I could do that. But I think you get to set the time for them, so maybe I would grow to love it. That is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. If you go to bed at night worrying about zombies, get a dog. According to an expert, man's best friend would be the best person, or not person, but the best companion in case of a zombie apocalypse. They're just saying the dogs would warn us. This comes from the UK tabloid Daily Star, which leans on Dr. Cameron Carlson from the Zombie Research Society.
That's a thing.
Have I mentioned this is weird news? I have. Okay. Dr. Carlson believes dogs' powerful senses mean that they would know that these people are undead before they actually even got there. He reckons they could also be able to sniff out a zombie virus way before the dead start walking, thanks to their powerful sense of smell. Changes in atmospheric pressure and natural phenomena carry odors that our furry friends would pick up way before we would.
I believe that.
Yeah, I think that's...
Have you ever seen your dog just staring at nothing and then just start barking and freaking out? I believe they can see things that we can't see.
I don't think that they're seeing zombies, though. I think that's all just somebody having some
But if they
fun.
can see things we can't see, they can see zombies.
Okay, well, maybe we're surrounded by zombies, but I doubt it. That is today's weird news. I wonder why that's weird news. Brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Things that are technically true but sound weird when you say it out loud. So like this. Writing a diary is considered sane and respectable, but talking to yourself out loud is considered bizarre.
I talk to myself all the time.
And then I always ask her, who are you talking to? And you're like, I'm just talking to myself. I'm like, well, you were arguing, though. All right, screaming YOLO, which means you only live once, would make more sense if you were doing something really safe rather than something really dangerous. Okay, I suppose.
Yeah.
A lifetime warranty really means the company's lifetime, not your lifetime. Oh, that's true.
That is true.
Bruce Wayne probably helps more people by being a billionaire philanthropist than he does by being Batman.
Probably.
Probably. The years seem to pass more quickly as you get older because each passing year represents a smaller slice of your overall life. That makes sense. Tan lines make being nude look even nuder. That's true. Moonlight is still sunlight. It's just shining off the moon, reflecting off the moon. Again, all of these things are technically true, but they sound weird when you say them out loud. Then there's more on the list. You can find it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Heidi's going to love this quote because it comes from Steve Martin.
Oh, loved Steve Martin when he did stand-up.
You probably even remember this then because I believe it's from his stand-up comedy days. He said, "A day without sunshine is like, night." He had so many funny, witty little one-liners like that.
He was so clever.
One of my favorites was, and I watched, I didn't watch it. It was a comedy thing where it was an album, and I listened to it on the internet, like, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago. But one of my favorite things was when he came out, everybody's clapping. He goes, "Hey, everybody, raise your hand. Make some noise if you're here tonight." I was like, that was really funny. Because it's just so stupid, Like, everybody's here that's here. They're not here, they're not here.
Very clever.
That is your quote of the day. Comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of the all-new radiotravelgroup.com. Here's a headline, Heidi. Barking dog helps rescue man from sea. I think this is a really cool story.
Okay.
A man in the United Kingdom has been rescued from the sea after a dog spotted him struggling and alerted her owner. The man, in his mid-50s, fell from a small transport boat near Royal Clarence Marina in the United Kingdom Saturday evening. Due to stormy conditions, he was swept away 300 meters.
Oh, my.
A woman taking her dog Poppy for an evening walk near the bridge said her cockapoo, Poppy, suddenly started barking when she stopped. She said, "I could hear somebody shouting for help, so I called the Coast Guard." The man, found clinging to a post in the frigid water, was pulled onto a rescue boat and treated for hypothermia. He was incredibly lucky being in the water for 30 minutes at this time of year in a stormy force gale with sea temperatures as they were. He was lucky to survive, says James Baggett of the Gosport Inshore Lifeboat Services. Says he was swept away from the boat and left clinging to a pile, the pile is a post. If the dog hadn't raised the alarm, consequences would have been very different for this guy. Poppy, by the way, was spoiled with treats by her owner when they got home. It was fortunate that we were there at the time. She said how frightening it must have been for him. So this guy is saved. There's a photo of Poppy. There's no photo of the guy. It does not say in here, other than it says he was in his mid-50s, but it doesn't have his name or any of that kind of thing. So I wonder if he bought Poppy some doggy treats.
I would sure hope so.
I would too, because I'll tell you what, if this dog saved my life, you know what I would do? A lot of good stuff for that dog.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
That it really is. And so many times you hear stories about amazing dogs who do amazing things.
Just awesome.
They really are. Our dog, by the way, never done anything quite like this.
Whatever. Our dog's awesome.
Do you think she would save us?
Yes.
No. She probably wouldn't. only if she thought she was going to get a treat. That's the only way. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.